You came to the wrong hood, or maybe the right one. Trying to make moves in the South Side? Gotta earn it, homie. Out here, you don't just survive. You hustle, you grind, you fight for every damn inch. Lowriders slide slow, eyes watching from every porch. And trust me, one wrong step, and you end up just another story on the block. But hey, you cool? Then take a seat, chill for a sec. We got tales to tell, real ones. Stories that'll take you deep into the streets, make you feel the heat, then rock you to sleep like a lullaby from the hood. So smash that like button, fool. Out here, even the hardest gotta rest sometime. The city never forgives. But tonight, you go and sleep like a king in the Grove. If the Grove's too wild for you, go chill in Vice or Liberty City. Ain't everyone built for the real hood. Go peep the channel and see for yourself. And don't get caught slipping.
Yo, today we taking a walk through the real Los Santos. Not that glossy Vinewood postcard. Not the fancy shots from Del Perro Pier. I'm talking behind the scenes, where the streets breathe stories and every alley got its own memory. We start down in Strawberry, where the sounds of the metro roll under the concrete and hustlers line up outside the corner. Barber shop. Everybody got a side hustle here, some clean, some not so much. Grocery bags get passed a little too quick, and any stoop see more drama than a Weasel News real dot slide over to Davis. And things heat up. The block buzzes like a hornet's nest after dark. Families barbecue in the front while deals whisper in backlots. You might see a baller in a chrome jackal, bass thumping, ridden like he on the night, but every eye's watching who turns that corner. Cops roll slow, real slow, like the air itself got something to confess. Then there's Chamberlain Hills grimy and proud. Folks here don't flinch easy. Every porch been through something. Murals on the walls tell stories the history books forgot. Gangs still push turf lines, but some of the old heads, they try to steer the youth straight. Peace ain't a fantasy, it's just another war worth winning. But keep moving. East Side, Rancho. Maze Bank Arena lit in the distance like a false promise. Truck yards full of shadows and quiet transactions. If you know where to look, you'll see a kid spitting bars on a busted mic next to a liquor store. That's the pulse of LS Dot, so buckle in. Cause Los Santos ain't one thing. It's 100 truths fighting for room on the same street. And tonight we ridden through every one of them. You ready to keep rolling? Let's ride out to Vespucci next. Whole different world. Asterisk, we peel off the highway and drop straight into Vespucci Beach, where the salt air's thick with the hiss of skateboard wheels and the pulse of bass from beachfront bars. Boardwalk hustlers sell knockoff teas by the dozen, while sun-soaked skaters kickflip over cracks stained with spray paint tags. You'll catch toddlers chasing pigeons beside OG street preachers preaching that only hustle pays. Fat choppers roar past muscle-shirted brothers, desperate for a slice of that tourist cash everyone's trying to catch a wave or a quick buck before the sun dips. Slide east to Mirror Park next, once a calm oasis, now a collage of mural walls and trap house corners. Skinny artists with rainbow hair blast vapid pop over busted speakers, while hood rats slip behind stoked brownstones to light up and count stacks. A nod to the muralist paint-over crew means respect, but cross into turf you. Don't know, you'll end up talking to a steel pipe, not no bouncer. Late nights, the park's lake glints under lampposts as lowriders ghost drift the promenade. Fish bowls pouring neon down cracked pavement. Next stop. Chamberlain Hills, where OGs hold court on every stoop, and block parties come with barbecue smoke thick enough to choke the sun. Clocks never rest in the glove box. Funerals happen by noon, and alliances are signed in blood as much as in bottles of Yale. But don't sleep on the Unity grandma's pass-out plates of fried chicken. Beside murals that shall respect your elders, and even the youngest hustlers know the code. You watch my back, I watch yours. We ghost over to La Puerta docks, where the air tastes of diesel and salt. Feeder ships slump at the piers, containers stamped with secrets and dollar signs. Offshore crews slip cargo through side gates, and every hard hat might be hiding a switchblade or a burner phone. The only law you see is the one you make if you're in on the import game. You walk tall. If not, best keep your head down or you'll wake up swimming with the fishes. Cut back inland to Rancho, where chrome rides gleam under greasy street lamps and the roar of turbochargers echoes off dingy strip malls. Car meets pop off behind. The laundromat tuners swap stolen nose kits. Girls and lowriders curl their hair for a Sunday cruise. And every block looks like a low-budget Fast and Furious movie. Tourists roll through in rented SUVs, snapping selfies by the taco truck, clueless that the real power's tucked in the alley behind, where chop shops chop and custom plates get sold to the highest bidder, then bounce up to Vinewood, where the sidewalks choke on stiletto heels and designer handbags. Aspiring stars hawk selfies with tourists under the Walk of Fame plaques, selling dreams of casting calls for $50. But back in the shadows, street kids run fake ID rings, cash out rigs, and post up on high-end sports cars flashing keys they didn't pay for, hoping to flip them for real bread. The glitter don't last, but the scars sure will. Finally, steal yourself for downtown Los Santos. Skyscrapers claw at the smoggy sky while high-rolling suits strut past valet stalls, unaware their city's arteries run on blood, not just black gold. Beneath the neon silhouettes of Maze Bank and Fib Towers, syndicates broker deals in underground parking garages. Lawyers and lobbyists play chess with crooked cops. But real control belongs to whoever's got the heaviest grip on petty thugs. In the back streets, night falls like velvet, and our crew me, you, anybody brave enough gathers at the abandoned safe house on Elgin Avenue, plotting the next big strike, a heist at the Diamond Casino's back vault, or a data rip from Humane Labs. We know the score easy money never comes clean. But in Los Santos, clean don't get nobody paid dots, so strap in, lock your doors, and keep your eyes peeled. The city's pulse don't slow down, and neither do we. Next move, up in smoke or down in flames, ready to roll. Let's ride. Asterisk we pull. Up at the safe house on Elgin Avenue rusty gate, boarded up windows, but it's home. Inside, Rico's leaning on the busted pool table. Nala flicks a switch on her duffel that makes the leads glow red. I drop the blueprints for Diamond Casino's back vault on the table. Code room under the east stairwell. Service elevator that only runs on employee swipe. And a maintenance hatch up top in the penthouse suite. Listen, I say, voice low. We hit at 2 a.m. Security's thin on the shifts, 'cause they got that big blackjack tournament going on. We slip in through the hatch on Vinewood Hillside, hack the camera loop for 30 seconds, then ride the elevator straight to the vault 4. Rico cracks his knuckles. I got the jammer ready, gonna blind the cop drone circling the plaza. Nala, you still rolling with the override key. She nods, taps the cylinder in her palm. Biolocks prep. Just need a heartbeat. We gear up. Black ski masks, leather gloves, silenced vapid pistol, compact crowbars. I slide the duffel strap over my shoulder. Rico laughs. Man, you packing like you moving out. I grin. Better safe than sorry. At one, we roll out. And now the Sultan RS, headed east on Hawk, cut through strawberry alleyways. Hit Davis for the last gas run. Streetlights flicker as we pass the old metro station graffiti still fresh on its walls. We merge onto Alta Street, climb the hill toward Vinewood Hills. Palm trees glow orange in the floodlights, but our focus stays locked on the rooftop hatch. Above the casino's neon sign dot by 1:45 a.m. we're through the fence behind the penthouse. Rico pops the hatch with a silent pry. Nala drops the jammer into her backpack, and I pop off the camera, feed Luke 30 seconds of static rain. We shimmy inside the service shaft and ride the cables down 5 floors. Sneakers slick on black conduit. At the vault door, I whack the panel with the crowbar. Blast open the frame. Rico Jackson, his tablet, runs the override sequence stores. Slide like butter. Inside, rows of chips in every color, stacks of cash strapped in bands. We move fast. Nala scoops fistfuls of green. I bag chips in duffel. Rico counts the bundles. Then alarms spike. The screen over our heads blares red. Security breach. Level 3. No sweat. Rico hits the amp button on his jammer. The whole hallway goes dark. We run back through the vault door as the metal slides shut behind us. We pop into the service elevator just as power flickers back. Rico hacks the panel, sends us down to floors. Doors hiss open into the maintenance corridor, empty except for a single guard dozing by a vending machine. Nala plants a quick zip tie on him. Rico swipes the master key card from his pocket. We clear the stairwell exit and spill out onto the sidewalk at the casino's rear. Our ride's a block over. The Sanchez bike's tucked behind the Mers Mutual tow truck. We jump on, rev the engines, and tear south on South Boulevard. Del Perro tires, burning neon strip reflections off Limelight's glass facade. We blast through downtown traffic without looking back. Hang a hard left into El Burro Heights Industrial Park. Slip past stalled cargo trucks before the cops can set up a roadblock. By the 30 a.m. we're back at the Rancho-style safe house in Rancho. Engine idling in the gravel driveway. We unload the duffels in the garage. Count the take. 18 bands in cash. Millions in chips we can launder through the maze bank vault. Not bad for 20 minutes on the job. Nala kicks open the beer cooler. We did good, she says, popping a brew. Rico tosses me a cold one. To the crew, he grins. We're still the real kings of LS. We hit the couch, laugh loud enough to shake the boarded up windows. Outside, the city hums Vinewood's neon, Vespucci's breakers, Chamberlain Hill's porch lights. None of it knows what just happened, and that's the point. Dot by dawn, we'll scatter everyone back to their own corners. Nala to Mirror Park to sell the story in the street. Rico to the docks in La Puerta for his next hustle. Me to Davis to lie low till the heat dies. But tonight, we celebrate, because in Los Santos, easy money never comes clean, but it sure feels sweet when you ride out in one piece. Before the sun even cracks, sirens start droning down Elgin Avenue like vultures circling a fresh carcass. We bowled out the back, hit the chain link gate before the plywood starts buzzing with jackhammers. Nala ducks in the mirror. Park claims she's got a promo shoot with some sneaker heads. Rico goes to the La Puerta docks, blending in with the longshoremen unloading container flats. Me, I melt into Davis's side streets, swap my hoodie for a thrift store windbreaker, and slip into the metro like I'm just another commuter dot by mid-morning. The smoke's still clearing. News choppers hover over the casino. Cops string a piece. Together the ghost heist. Maze Bank's lobby's packed with gamblers freaking out over missing chips. The FIB's sweating, but they got no clue who got it through the hatch. Word on the street is some ballad crews offering a bounty want to pin in on a rival OG. So if we ain't careful, this could blow sideways real quick. Now is hustling on the 24-hour live stream. At Mirror Park, spinning the story, word is some rogue dealer tipped the house, she says. Flipping her shades. Views skyrocket, she's running at least 20 racks in donations before lunch. Rico, meanwhile, meets our money man at a rusted crane by the piers. He shakes on half the take, tucks the rest in laminated sleeves, and rolls off on his Sanchez, nodding to dockworkers who don't blink twice. I duck into the Davis barbershop fresh cuts where Mr. D snipping fades, and running my ear on the low. Yo, you hearing about the casino caper? He asks, brushing me off. I shrug, play it cool, but my burner blows up 5 minutes later. It's Paycor Connect with the custom plates outfit. Got a gig for you. Come through Los Santos Customs. He texts, heavy load, midnight. I pocket the phone. Pat my pockets still got some cash and half a duffel with the chips. Stashed in Nalla's spot at Mirror Park. Tomorrow's payday on deck, but tonight's another hustle. We done scored. Big, but in LS, the game don't stop you, just level up. So I lace my boots, slide on that windbreaker, and head east toward the customs yard. Eyes peeled for whoever's tailing me dot, because in Los Santos, you celebrate every win, but you never let your guard down. The next job's always just around the corner. Asterisk, I slip past the neon glow of Davis Boulevard and pull up outside Los Santos Customs to block long. Bays tucked between hot rod shops and busted warehouses. The cracked lot smells of burnt rubber and grease. I kill the engine, tuck my windbreaker hood up, and move silent toward the back gate. Paco's lean silhouette waits by a stack of British racing green Super D vans, all windows blacked out. Yo, he nods, thumbs me a Duplo-sized duffel. Got the manifest called exotic freight. 3 crates behind bay 3, old military surplus. Ewan, I flash a quick grin. Half the bag. Where's the buyer? He points past the Deno Toon lift to a red Kawasaki in the shadows. The figures by the fender one draped in a faded Vinewood shirt, the other rocking OG ballast colors. No brass knuckle welcome, just a nod from the ballast cat. I step into the bay as they jack up a phantom wedge, wheels off, crates sliding onto. The lift scissor arms dot my duffel's weight shifts with every step. Paco grabs my elbow. Be Smooth FIB's been sniffing here ever since that casino bust. Cameras looped, but they still ride drones overhead. I duck under the lift, pry the top crate open, and find stacks of M1911s wrapped in burlap still oil slicked. Next box, thermal scopes. Last one, a weird cylindrical device humming soft, lights blinking blue. I glance up buyers waiting. The ballast dude steps forward, palm up. I drop 2 M1911s into his hand. He checks the serials, passes M2. His crew, they toss me the grand and cash cold bills, thick stacks. Paco's counting off red duffels by the lift dot. Suddenly, red lasers dance across the crates. I freeze. Bella's brother hisses. The grid's tripping, fib drone. Paco curses. Time to bounce. We spill out the side door into a tangle of chain link and rusted scaffolding. I drop my duffel into the passenger seat of Paco's Sultan RS. Hit the throttle. Tires scream onto the strip chains rattle as we tear through Rancho gas lines. Eastbound toward Cypress Flats. Behind us, I see the drone spotlight cut through the dark like a scalpel. I cut left past GWC and over the maze of train tracks by El Burro Heights. Ballast car lights flare and my rearview looks like they're tailing to. I weave onto the LS River Freeway. Engine roaring, heart pounding, Paco swears. Slams shifting gears. We blast under the Davis overpass. Spark showers from the cracked guardrail just like that casino job, only hotter. Up ahead, a flicker, Rico's onto Sanchez bikes. Crested the hill at Reservoir Drive. He waves us off the ramp. We skid down the embankment. It's the Sultan among brush. Ballast cars cruise past above us, none the wiser. Rico grins as we pull out the duffels. Nice haul. Thermal scope's gonna fetch 20 a pop on the black market. He taps the humming cylinder. What's this? I shrug. Not mine to question. Paco rolls his eyes but shrugs, pockets the manifest. We split the cash 5 each and load the heat into Rico's stash locker under the cookhouse. At Strawberry Avenue, that we sprint uphill to the metro platform, blending with sunrise commuters. I cast the train back to Davis, stash my windbreaker in the trash bin by the corner store, then duck into Fresh Cuts barbershop for my fade out by noon. The streets are buzzing about another shadow shipment trumors of Ghost Arms deals passing through. Customs, the fib denies it, the ballast sweat it, but me, I'm counting my next move. Now it's got a tip on an LSIA cargo flight. Rico's eyeing the chop shop gig at La Puerta, and Paco's already scheming a smaller take on the side. In Los Santos, every score begets another hustle. I light a smoke, half grin at the mirror reflection of Mr. D snipping my hair. Face tight, mind sharper. The day's still young and so's the grind. Next gig, already on the burner. In LS, you sleep, you lose, and I don't plan on losing tonight. I step out Fresh Cuts with my scalp still tingling, the windbreaker gone, the fade looking sharp just like Rico said. Fly fade, sharp mind. My burner vibrates. Now let's hit me up. 3 a.m., remote tarmac 12 at LSIA. Small cargo flight drones. Comm rigs. Meet me by Harvest Storage off-wrong alternates. Pace it right. I nod even though she can't see it. I slide down Davis Boulevard, past the corner store where the neon sign flickers open late. The city's switching gears. Into night mode. Streetlights hum on. Lowriders idle in driveways. And stray cats scuttle under parked polices. I duck into the alley behind the grocery, grab my duffel from the trash bin, stash guns, hacks, extra mask. No time to waste. I rev up my Vito Modern at Strawberry Avenue. Rico rolling shotgun on his Sanchez bike. He nods. Got the chop shop. Gig tomorrow, but I'm with this one. Paco's tailing us on a Sultan. Windows black. We cruise east on Hawk. Hook onto the LSIA service road dead quiet except for distant jet rumble. The runway lights off to our right look like fireflies in the dark dot at Harvest Storage. Nala's in full stealth black overalls, lead jammer strapped to her thigh. She waves us in. Security's lax till the 45. They offload small crates with that new loader truck no scans on TPS manifest. She hands us earbuds. Comms locked on my channel. By the 30 a.m. we parked behind the corrugated fence, cut the wire mesh with bolt cutters. The cool metal clanks under Rico's grip. Paco uses his phone to loop the camera, feed 30 seconds of dead air. We slip inside the yard, shadows melting us into the stacks of pallets. I pop open the duffel, check my vapid pistol silencer attached. 16 rounds. We creep toward Tarmac 12. The cargo loader truck idles by a gray C-130 cargo plane. Gray stamp Steelhead Industries. Nala disables the loader's proximity sensor. Rico mounts the ramp. I follow, hard drumming like a club beat. Inside the belly, 3 crates, locked with twist latches. Paco kneels and pries one open, tells me to hang back. I lean against the fuselage wall as he eases the latch. The crate top pops, and I see bundles of micro drones no bigger than a deck of cards wrapped in foam. Thermal cams, mesh antennas, little blackbirds ready to kill comms. Nala steps in behind me, unhooks the jammer. 3 boxes. We move fast. Rico lifts the first crate to the edge. I catch it. Cold aluminum presses my forearms. Paco shoves. The second one my way. Nala pulls the third. We stack in by the ramp and start to hustle them out. Adrenaline sweep. Then there's a click heel on metal. I freeze. For armed guards in fib fatigues spill out of the shadows. Rifle swung. Up. Guard 1 sneers. You boys lost. The drone cargo glints under the overhead halogen. I raise my vapid, whisper, Nala, now. She slams the jammer. The truck's lights flicker. Alarm shriek, then die. Rico fires a single shot, guard drops. I unload the rounds at guard 2. Paco ducks behind a crate. Blast number 3. Nala hacks the loader controls. The ramp ascends, crushing the 4th guard's leg in a sick crunch. He screams, but we got no time for mercy. We haul the crates down the ramp, sprint past the shipping containers. The loader truck's horn blares to life, scaring the living daylights out of us. We dive behind a forklift as spotlights slice the dark. Rico hotwires the forklift. Nala presses the accelerator, diesel roars. We skid around the plane's nose, crates bouncing in the forks. Paco's Sultan revs up, pulls in front of us. We strap the crates on the rack. We hop off as soon as we clear the fence. I vault over the mesh, land on Ron alternates, roll into a smoky on-ramp. The forklift screeches off the yard. Rico barrel rolls it into a ditch. Nala guns it on foot. To the Sultan, we blast south, road hum mingling with our ragged breaths. Above, planes still circle, none the wiser. In 20 minutes, we ditch the Sultan at Cypress Flats, stash the crates in Rico's warehouse under La Puerta. We split again Nala to Mirror Park, Rico to La Puerta Chop Shop, Paco to customize the Sultan and lay low. I walk back to Davis. Fate's still fresh, duffel lighter, but my mind heavier. Tomorrow's gig waits, but tonight's adrenaline's enough to keep me awake till sunrise. In Los Santos, every score's a ticket to the next hustle, and I'm cashing in like royalty. Asterisk by sunrise, I'm back in Davis, sneakers powdered with alley dust, hoodie clinging to my shoulders like yesterday's heat. The city's yawning awake, metro cars screeching, corner boys posting up early. Lowriders already gliding slow down Innocence Boulevard like it's Sunday church. Every light change feels like a choice. Keep pushing or fall back. I choose. Forward die my phone buzzes. It's a short ping, Rico. 12 crates moved. Buyer happy, paid in crypto. You got 20%. Then Nala. You still hot. Lay low till sundown. New job brewing. Old contact from Pauletto. I nod to no one. Pauletto Bay? That's a whole different rhythm, small town quiet masking big city schemes. You don't get called out there unless it's serious. Probably weapons. Maybe currency fraud. Could be extraction. Whatever it is, I'll be ready. I always am. I duck into Liquor Ace for a bottle and a burn reload. Outside, a tagger's paint drips from a fresh piece on the wall. Only loyalty survives. Ain't that the truth? I light a black and mild, lean on a park primo, and watch the city slide past like I'm not even there. Cops roll by slow. One locks eyes with me, then keeps cruising. I don't blink out this life. It's always on edge. You move smart or end up another ghost mural on a Davis corner. But I ain't trying to be remembered, I'm trying to live. And when that Pauletto call comes through, I'll ride straight into it, on my own terms, with my crew, my code, and my city behind me. 'Cause in Los Santos, the game don't pause. You either play it, or you get played by me. I stay playing, always. Asterisk by the time the sun dips low and paints rancho rooftops gold. I'm already back in motion. Now his message said Pauletto, but didn't say when, how, or who, which in our line of work usually means gear up, stay dark, and don't get too curious. I grabbed the duffel from under the floorboard, same one. From the LSI score and check it. Compact Uzi, burner phone, a box of SIM cards, gloves, cash, and a clean license plate tucked in wax paper. Everything smells like Purpose. Rico calls just before sunset. There's a Jack flatbed headed north on Senora Freeway. Plates say it's clear, but I bet $5 it's running decoy. I ask him if it's connected to Pauletto. He just says, "You'll know when you see it." I ride solo this time. No decals, no music, no flash. Just the low hum of a worn-out Albany Primo as I slip onto the freeway. Rolling past wind farms that spin like ghostly clock hands counting. Down to something big. I keep my speed steady. Past Harmony. Cut near the prison. Eyes on every lane. Every shadow. Up near the Chiliad cut. I see it. Flatbed parked off the shoulder. Hazard lights blinking. Looks innocent, but nothing on this road is ever innocent. Past 10 p.m., I pull over across the road, cut the engine, wait. Then it moves, not the truck behind it. Out the shadows steps a woman in a combo jacket and boots still coated in Blaine County dirt. She's older than Nala, sharper than Chloe, carries herself like she's talked face to face with bodies no one ever found. She's called Marla. I only know her from whispers. Pauletto's whisper, in fact. She nods once, like a clock ticking, and says, "We're going dark grid up north. You in or not?" I ask, "What's the target?" She looks toward the pines and says, "A data farm, posing as a wellness retreat. Private security, multiple loop links, off-book medical logs. Word is they're not just healing folks, they're mapping their brains. Black market neural graphs. Real sci-fi nightmare." I exhale. "You already mapped the entry?" She smiles. "Your crew laid the blueprint and didn't even know it. Back during the casino burn. That thermal scope data, they used it. I don't say anything. Just open the Primo's door and pop the trunk. Slide the duffel over my shoulder and look out toward Pauletto's lights in the distance, barely blinking. Next stop, redwoods, ghosts, and memories that don't belong to the people who dreamed them. This ain't Los Santos anymore. This is where the digital turns tribal. where the hustlers become legends or vanish in silence. And me, I'm ready to find out which. The air up in Paleto hits different, pine thick and sharp, like the land don't trust you yet. Marla rides passenger, while I push the Primo along the Great Ocean Highway, headlights low, windows cracked just enough to hear the sea clap against rocks somewhere out in the dark. We don't talk much. People like her save words for when they matter. And tonight, every second's a fuse. The wellness retreats its quiet in the hills above the gas station. Just past the lumber yard, real clean-up top-glass atriums, hydroponic gardens, soft jets piping through the hedges. But underground, cables hum like nerves under skin. Rico sent drone footage earlier, security rotations, retina access doors, ventilation shafts wide enough for a crawl if you ain't claustrophobic. We park behind a feed barn, slip into black gear, and load out. Nal is already inside, posing, as a server at their fake mindfulness gala cocktails in one hand, EMP node under her sleeve. She buzzes and guards carry tasers and egos. I'm 2 minutes from the data core. Her signal pings from basement level, near a greenhouse marked Euphoria Recovery. We move. Marla cracks a maintenance hatch with ease. Her toolkit small, worn no chrome, just precision. We drop into a duct and shimmy for what feels like forever. Knees raw, breath shallow, then open space. Server racks bloom in blue rose under soft lead rain. We're in. I drop to the floor, crouched low between towers while Marla pulls the data probe. We're not just grabbing files, she murmurs. We're planning a tracer. Let this place keep breathing. Let it show us who's been feeding off. It above us, alarms twitch, not full-blown, but ripples in the net. Someone noticed something. Then Nala chimes in. They're searching guests. I stash the jammer in a planter. I'm ghosting now. I lock the probe to the server's heart. Transfer begins names, neural graphs, biometric logs, VIP donors, politicians, even LSIA execs flagged under treatment programs. This ain't wellness. This is compliance engineering. They're shaping. People like data models. Marla whispers, this city got memory cancer. They've been trimming the soul for profit. Download his 95%. Then bang. Noise upstairs. Gunshot. Now his cover's blown. We pull the line. Torch the tower. I sling the drive into my vest and we haul toward the vent. Marla tosses a pulse grenade, window shatters on the upper deck just as we bolt into the woods. Behind the compound, the trees keep us covered all the way down to the beach. Helicopter sweep lights graze the tree line, but we're under driftwood and fog before they spot movement. Nala meets us behind a storm-drained culvert, her dress torn, but eyes blazing. Got out with 2 key cards and the gala list. She says, coughing. One of them was fib. We camp at an abandoned ranger station till sunup. Rico hits us with good news. The tracer's online. The Wellness Cult's network just lit up connections in Sandy Shores, Del Perro, even a private uplink in Liberty City. This ain't local dot, it's systemic. We don't sleep, just clean gear, check ammo, patch scrapes, and prep the data drop. At dawn, we send the files to 3 independent journals, plus Miranda's ghost server. That afternoon, LC enters the leak, and everything shifts. Suburbs riot, mayors resign, funders vanish, but most of all, the city wakes up. From Paleto to Pillbox Hill, people stop trusting pretty words wrapped in spa robes. They start asking, what their thoughts are really worth. Back in Davis, I sit on a milk crate behind the bodega, sun warming my face. Nala texts, "Next chapter's yours." I let her smoke, flick the ash toward the street, and I start writing. Astra's gotta flick the ash out my smoke and tap out a furious text to Nala. Meet Mirror Park at dusk. We drop the drive. She replies with a single on it. I sling my Primo through Davis's. Side streets, neon signs still waking up from morning lull. By the time I roll up to the park's east side, the slabs of concrete are littered with spray-painted art and boombox thumps. Nal is there, hood up, eyes scanning the crowd street. Dancers, b-boys, and Uber Eats bikers snapping pics for TikTok. She nods once, and I hand her the micro SSD pouch under the flicker of the underpass lights. She plugs it into her custom rig from a console, a busted speaker, and a handful of hacked needles. In seconds, every mobile in a 2-block radius buzzes with a push notification, Wellness Gate exposed. Neural Data Farms, Politico donor list and FIB collusion. Screens crackle with palace-styled retreat interiors. White coat docs pocketing checks to alter your mind. The crowd leans in, phones held high. In that flash of digital outrage, Mirror Park turns into a living newsroom. Passersby shout, applause, echoes, and hashtags blow up faster than any drop at Epsilon. But we don't stay to celebrate. Before the noise peaks, I duck behind a graffitied wall and call Rico. He's at the La Puerta docks, moving the wellness shipments burnt out. Forklifts into sea freighter containers his unofficial bribes to keep dock cops busy. Got you, he says. Next plays Elysian. I already know what that means. The Data Farms financiers are laundering money through a chemical plant on Elysian Island, up by the scrapyards. Miranda tapped the shipping logs. There's a Shell Corp front called Rora Biotech Shipping. Dosage machines disguised as fertilizer mixers dot by moonrise. The three of us meet at GWC South Gate. Me, Nala, and Rico strapped up vapid, pistols tucked. EMP grenades clipped at belts, and bikes rumbling low. Across the river, the chemical plant's floodlights stab the sky. We split lanes, Rico on the left, me center, Nala right. Our silhouette drifts under the Del Perro freeway, shadows dancing on stacks of rusted containers. We time the crossing, with a freight train's horn still gauge drop, cameras loop, and we're ghosts in the grid. At the island docks, we slip through a crack in the fence, breach the maintenance hatch, and ghost up a service catwalk. Below, mixers churn green, sludge they think it's just fertilizer, but we know those vats hold data-scrubbed memories, ready for download to the unsuspecting. Nala plants the tracer grenade on the main control panel. Rico rigs the EMP nodal to fry Uplinks. I prime my vapid, eyes on the door to the control room where Aurora's execs lounge with cigars and tablets streaming. Our leak, tonight, we expose them to the same fire. No time to second guess. We pop the grenades, alarms scream, and the island's lights cut out. In the flare of emergency strobes, we descended to chaos, three silhouettes moving between vats. Bullets chucked like confetti. In 10 minutes, we'll have every ledger, every donor name, every neural graph out of that plant and into the public's hands. By the time Aurora's board sends their private security, we'll be free vanished back into the city's veins, ready for the next code to break. In Los Santos, the story never ends, it just levels up, and tonight, we write the next chapter in fire. Sun's leaning heavy on the rooftops of Davis. casting shadows long as the lies we just dragged into the light. I flick that cigarette into the gutter, pull the hoodie tight, and start walking toward Grove Street. The city ain't calmed. Down not really. It's just breathing quieter now. Like it knows the next exhale might bring another fire. I link up with Rico at the auto yard near Strawberry. He's wrenched deep in a stolen Glendale, smirking. Congrats on bringing the government to its knees, he says, wiping his hands on a Saints hoodie that ain't his. Now let's talk about the barrio. Nell is waiting inside, legs kicked up on a folding table beside a busted fan. Her eyes ain't tired though. She's locked in like she already knows what's next. We got heat on Dutch London Street. She tells me Val has been moving crates through the old textile warehouse, chemicals, crypto rigs, even a few coded burner routers. Somebody's setting up a new grid inside gang turf. Question is, who's letting them? That's when it clicks. All them neural files we leaked. Some folks didn't go down. Some pivoted. Started dumping investments into offline ops. No data, no trace. Old school muscle with new school money. And the ballas, they're the runners. We roll out in a tinted Granger. No plates. Straight through Carson Avenue, the warehouse glows faint, purplish, like the street knows something's wrong. Vagos watch from a balcony. Val is down the block tossed dice beside a car with no VIN. We circle behind the yard and slip through a busted fence with wired cutters. Inside, it's like a damn sci-fi garage sale. Crates of processors, chemical tanks, labeled in Russian, and walls lit up with heat map schematics of Los Santos neighborhoods. Someone's plotting distribution flows like it's a startup, but this ain't business, it's territory. Rico whistles. This ain't just about turf. They trying to gentrify the underworld. I nod, eyes on a lone laptop open near a stack of LS City Council maps. I scroll the files. Campaign donations from burner LLCs, payoffs to zoning boards, even a plug to a mayoral candidate who ran on urban cleanup. It's chess, and our people, just the pawns they movin' for checkmate. We torch the place, not to erase it, to warn in. We leave one thing untouched, a plastic folder of blackmail docs tacked to a corkboard. We pin a note beside it in spray paint. The city speaks for itself now. Watch who you fund. By the time we dip back into Davis, the sky's gone red and gold. Sirens echo from the north, but nobody's looking this way. Nala lights a blunt on the bodega's back step and passes it over. We done, she asks. I take one pull, exhale slow. Nah. We just found out who's really playing the game. At Los Santos, it ain't sleeping no more. Asterisk, when Los Santos wakes up pissed, the whole map trembles. After we torched the warehouse, word spread like fire on dry brush. Val is blaming Vagos. Vagos thinking it was the Marabunta and the FIB. They just want someone to cuff before the next news cycle. But the truth is, it was us, not for clout, not for turf, for the people who still believe this city got a soul left to save. It's late the next night when we post up at a scrapyard on Popular Street. Rico got the SUV idling between crushed sedans, Nala flipping through burner messages on a jacked. I fruit. Miranda's voice crackles over comms. We picked up chatter on LSNN private nodes. Someone's buying silence and they're paying with blueprints. I lean in. Blueprints for what? New precinct, she says. East Vinewood. Looked like a fortress, thicker walls, facial skin entry, drone pads on the roof. But underneath, It's a data mining node. They're building the next version of Control. Quiet, clean, invisible. Nala exhales. Same blueprint that mirrored. That wellness spot from Pauletto. And there it is again, that thread. From glam spas to gangfront laundromats, the enemy stays changing masks. But the game, still rigged. They're rewriting the rules while we still playing dice on the curb. We don't wait dot at midnight. We jack a Boxville from a junkie courier near Legion Square. It's running a false maintenance decal and got clearance for restricted alleys. Rico pulls the clutch while I ride shotgun. Nala in the back rewiring the cams with a loop of last week's city footage. We cruise right up to the East Vinewood precinct shell. Lights off. Tools hot dot is surgical. Rico drills into the telecom hub. Nala snakes the uplink with a payload loaded with tracer code. I watch the street, eyes bouncing from rooftop to alley. The city sleeps, rough crackheads muttering, dogs howling distant, cops sipping coffee just a blocks down with no idea they're 2 minutes from being legends. For the wrong side dot, we plan our message inside their mainframe. Not loud, not flashy, just a signature that reads, if you build cages for data, expect the lions to bite back. As we pull out, one of their thermal drones sweeps the lot. Nala drops a signal pulse that tricks it into seeing 3 heat ghosts. Headed west, we vanishes through Textile City, engine off, coasting down a slope like wind riding its own breath. Back at the safe house in Chamberlain Hills, Miranda confirms the tracer's alive. The precinct's node just started sensing. With a database hosted outside LS, someone hires watching, not just City Hall. 2 days later, the data leaks, not from us, from someone else. A whistleblower at Maze Bank. The files include zoning bribes, biometric test logs, and a manifesto that starts with, memory is the last free currency. The city goes feral. Vinewood elites start boarding up stores. Fireworks pop off in Rancho, even though it ain't close to July. Even the cops on the beat, where their uniforms loosen like the badge don't sit right anymore. And then Chloe, who never leaves the server room, and La Mesa texts the crew for the first time. In weeks, I found something under Richard's Majestic. Something old, real old. Might be the first time Liberty got mapped digitally. Blueprints, emotionally coded files, city memory banks. I blink. What are you saying? Her reply sends a chill. This whole war, we might just be inside it. Echo. And in that second, I know this isn't the end. It's the beginning of the next layer. Deeper, older, beyond servers and surveillance. This city's been listening longer than we've been talking. And now, it's whispering back. The message Chloe found under Richard's Majestic haunted me harder than any drone sweep or data sting we ever pulled. Emotionally coded files, she'd said, like memories, ghosts in binary, archived beneath the glamour of old Vinewood. Scripts, written in fear, in grief, in rage, stuff that ain't never meant to be saved, but still lives on in circuits nobody patched. Whatever it was. We had to see it die. We linked up late, me, Rico, Nala rolling 3 deep in a mag gray calico GTF. Tucked low behind tinted windows, the air smelled like burnt palms and engine coolant. Grove Street was quieter than usual. The quiet, even the murals of fallen Oggs seemed to watch us different. You think this is bigger than data leaks and precincts? Rico asked. I let us smoke slow. I think it always was. We cut through Little Soul, swung past Vespucci, then crawled uphill to Ward. Richard's majestic. Night crept in over the hills like a lie waiting to be told. Chloe met us by a prop trailer out back, eyes red from screen burn, gloves still half clenched from pulling cables out of century-old panels. "What's down there?" I asked her. She whispered, "Scripts, storyboards, neural imprints, people." Backed up. The entry was hidden in an old generator shaft, hollowed out between fake soundstage tunnels and disconnected AV lines. We slid into the dark, dust thick like forgotten memories. Rusted server banks blinked as we passed them still warm, like they just dreamed yesterday. In the deepest chamber was the core diet pulse with old Hollywood, not red carpet glitz, but the kind that sold hope as a drug. Every name the city forgot, scrawled in directories. Chloe loaded one file at random. A screen flickered on. A woman's voice. Shaky but clear. "I didn't come to this city to be famous. I came to disappear." Then another. And another dozens hundreds. All faces never. Made the news. All dreams swallowed whole by casting calls, late night raids, bad deals and backlots. Every one of them encoded, stitched together into a tapestry of loss. People who gave themselves to the city and got replaced by legend. Nala shook her head. They backed them up like spare parts. We didn't speak. We just stood there until the system offered a final prompt on the screen. "Archive complete. Do you wish to forget?" I stared at it. Then I typed back, "No. Let them be remembered." And with that, we uploaded their voices into the Civic grid, not to blast headlines, not to sell drama, just so someone, somewhere, would hear them. They were Los Santos too, maybe the part no one wanted to see, but we did, and now the city does too. Asterisk, we left that archive chamber under Richard's majestic with the weight of forgotten dreams, stitched into our bones. Back in the city, you could feel it like Los Santos itself had taken a breath, like maybe all those buried voices were echoing through the concrete now. Grove was buzzing again, not wild, not loud but sharp. Everyone's eyes held something new, not fear, not pride, just awareness. Like the whole hood just realized it had been part of a movie they never got credits in. A week. Passes, streets, start moving different. OGs and Chamberlain are meeting in daylight, not ducking under porches. Little homies who used to push perks start talking code. Actual code learning scripts to watch the watchers. It ain't some kumbaya miracle. There's still bodies dropping. Sirens still stretching past midnight. But now folks know. They know where the shadows come from. Me, Rico, Nala, we stay low, but not silent. We start passing burners with preloaded mesh links, teaching block crews how to trace traffic cams and fake license scans. It spreads faster than any virus ever did. Barbershops turn into upload hubs. Street pastors pass out repurposed dash cams that stream encrypted. One lady in Rancho started printing hood just designs like it's 1996 that we get a call from. Franklin Clinton himself, real Franklin, OG turned businessman turned neighborhood whisperer. He says, "Y'all stirred something righteous, but you gonna need more than exposes and burnouts to hold it." He puts us in touch with the citywide crew, muralists, data, pushers, civic devs, folks with real tech and zero patience for suits. We meet inside the old movie set at the Vinewood Bowl, rooftop under the stars, city below glimmering like a broken promise. And right there, we lay the blueprint, not for a heist, not for revenge, but for preservation. We call it Project Southlight. A decentralized mesh node grid starting in Strawberry and stretching through East Vinewood. One pole at a time, cameras, facing the community, not at it. Stories logged by the people, stored in ledgers no corp can crack. Police can't spoof it. No political filter. It's raw. It's real. And when the first Southlight node goes live, guess who's there? Little J from Forum Drive. Kid who once tagged cop cars just to be seen. He cuts the zip tie on the ribbon, plugs in the solar link, and the light hums on. A quiet, steady glow. Not bright, but enough to notice. People stop. They look up. They take pictures, Dot, and in that moment, with busted sneakers and nothing in my pockets but lint and memory, I feel it. Los Santos ain't fixed. But now, she remembers herself, and she's watching. We still outside. We still ridden. And we still ain't finished. Asterisk, the buzz in the city's veins won't quiet down. A week after that first Southlight node lit up in Strawberry, others started flickering. To life one in Rancho by the spray paint wall near the taco truck. Another in Elboro tucked behind the barber who's been cutting since CJ's time. Every new glow. Another truth unlocked. Another street finally seen Dot, and with visibility came heat. Valla's crew started rolling heavier. Not just with weapons, but with tech, jammers, drone spotters, fake Southlight decoys to spoof uploads. They realized this wasn't just streetlight beef, this was control of the narrative. Whoever commands what the city sees shapes how it remembers Dot, so we pivot. Me, Nala. Rico joined now by Lyra, a quiet coder from Vespucci who used to pirate LSNN live feeds and remix M into drill. Music, she rebuilt our meshnet backbone with bounce back encryption. If they jam it, it records the attempt, tags the source, and pings it right back on blast. One night, we're posted near the Davis train yard, laying low in a gutted maintenance shack. Lyra's laptop purrs as footage scrolls Balla's execs in suits. Meeting Fib Cats at a leased storefront in Burton, they're discussing data realignment protocols. Code for memory suppression. We ain't just rapping about the hood anymore, Rico mutters. They try to erase the story from the hard drive. So we draw the line. Next Southlight install goes right in front of that storefront in Burton. Midday. No masks. No jammer. Whole block watches as we mount it to the street lamp, plug it in, and paint a mural of the old Grove Street OG squad beneath its wheat. Smoke, rider, not to glorify, but to remember. Ballads roll up 2 hours later, but they don't touch the node, because now cameras face them. Because now the people talk back. That night, all across Los Santos, Chamberlain, Vespucci, La Puerta, East Vinewood, the city doesn't just pulse. It responds. Kids flash QR codes to load live streams. Old heads read printouts of past raids, tagged with street names. A whole block in El Rancho builds a message board from pallets and flyers. The city's alive in a new way. Not perfect, not polished. But present. And us, we're still riding, still coding in alleys and painting on walls, still torching lies and wiring truth into lampposts, because Los Santos don't need saving. It needs witnesses. And we here for it. Every single bite. The final Southlight node lit up on top of Chamberlain Hills during a quiet midnight. Sky cloudy. Only distant helicopter lights blinking red over downtown Los Santos. There wasn't a press release. No celebration, just a sense that the block felt it, like a pulse steadying in a chest that had been skipping beats for decades. We sat beneath that soft orange gloamy, Rico, Nala, Lyra on a cracked basketball court watching it buzz to life. No more fast getaway bags, no silencers. In the duffel, just scratched knuckles, scuffed sneakers, tired smiles. Lyra, still wrapped in her hoodie, stared at the post and said, "Kinda feels like the city finally sees itself." And that's exactly what it was. Not a mission anymore. Not a heist. Not a takedown. This was maintenance, the kind that keeps a city's soul from slipping under gentrified pavement and forgotten stories. In the weeks that followed, you could feel it. Kids on Forum Drive stopped flinching at the sound of sirens. Old heads from Grove started sitting outside again, just to talk. Folks began uploading their own stories to the Meshra, unfiltered, tagged by street corners and landmarks only locals knew. Rico opened up shop in La Puerta, fixing busted alarm systems and building signal jammers that looked like boom boxes. Nala turned the barbershop basement in Davis into a training center, teaching kids how to clean cams, edit footage, encrypt phone logs. Lyra, she wired an old ice cream truck into a mobile podcast station, pulling up on any corner blasting confessions. And dreams like it was mixtape season. Dot and me, I kept walking, back to the alleys where we first tapped fiber, the rooftop where Miranda nearly got ghosted, the metro station under Strawberry where I once doubted this whole thing. I left a trail in chalk, small phrases, just enough for someone walking the same blocks years from now to know we were here. One day, I sat at a bus stop on Carson Ave next to an abuela, holding a grocery bag full of mangoes. She glanced up at the Southlight post, squinted at the Roots and Wires logo we stamped beneath it and said, "My grandson helped put that up. Said now we can't be ignored." I nodded. He's right. No one's erasing this place again. When it was time to ghost the movement, at least my part of it, I left a binder in the back room at Mirror Park, duct tape shut. Inside, hand-drawn grid maps, street poetry, burned logs, and testimonies from the whole crew. On the cover, if you're reading this, the light's still on. Keep feeding the signal, but above all, keep listening. The hood ain't saved by satellites. It's saved by memory. Double quotes. Los Santos didn't get redeemed. Didn't need the dollar remembered. And when a city remembers itself, nobody can sell it a lie again. Game over. Legacy just beginning. We remain. We witness. We out here. Forever. Los Santos. Eternal mode. The end.
You know we got stories from Vice City and Liberty City too, right? Go peep the channel and see for yourself. Just don't go running your mouth to the cops. Don't bounce without dropping that like, you feel me? And don't get caught slipping. See you in the block.